please accept.
Sounds good. And then I'm just sharing my screen right now. When I'm in the presenting mode, I might not be able to see who's going to be admit in the room. And if Dr. J can help me to admit whoever is trying to get in the room, that'll be great. Perfect. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Perfect. There you go. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and then also maybe good night for some of the candidates who's interested joining us for the College of Business. And again, welcome everyone to join our master's program info session tailored for the College of Art and Science today. Actually, we've got some good news today that we have a lot of candidates from different countries and also different time zone. So we also do have a lot of distinguished guests joining us. Again, welcome. I know Dr. G is already have the introduction of the team and the master's program. I'll just do in detail who's been involved in the program in general. So we have Dr. J. Gokhale. He is the master's program coordinator as well as the associate professor of economics for us, and then providing a lot of good suggestions and entail a lot of programs for us specifically. My name is Cici. And then I'm just finished my my MBA and on the way to finish my second master's for Master of Science in Aviation Finance program. Along our team, we have Dylan with us. He's also a veteran, currently pursuing his master, and then Sophia, who just joined us this semester. She's currently working on her Bachelor of Science in Homeland Security, and then the salary MBA program as well. Now, some of you guys might be actually interested. We also receive some of the questions regarding what kind of program we offer in the COB. We have a variety of them, and then we can also tailor the program as you need in the future. So in general, we have 4 programs offered in the College of Business: the Master of Business Administration, Master of Business Administration in Aviation Management, Master of Science in Aviation Finance, as well as the Aerospace Business Analytics. Under the MBA itself, we have 5 specializations that you can tailor. You can pick as you like. We have airline management, airport management, aviation system management, supply chain management, and as well as finance. And then who some of you guys already in the undergrad program, we do also offer the accelerated path program towards these programs specifically, which I'll explain that next few slides. You can see that combined with the undergrad, normally, again, I finished my undergrad in Canada. Normally it took us 4 years to finish that, but I didn't have the option at the time to do the combined program, but you guys do have the opportunity. That College of Business also offered that. For the College of Art and Science, we also have the bridge program, a specific tailor for your need. Now we have the MBA as well as the Master of Science in Aviation Finance. For the MBA itself, you can bridge with the communication, computational math, global conflict studies, interdisciplinary studies, human factor psychology, as well as the homeland security that can combined with the MBA. For individual who are actually interested in the aviation finance program specifically, we can also bridge with young computational math, which actually create a lot of advantages for you. There are some courses that you will take in your finance program. You will need that as your fundamental skills. The requirement wise, we all need to have a minimum of 3.0 GPAs or above. You can also save few semesters because we can transfer between 6 to 9 master credit to consider for your undergrad level. And then you also can save semester. And then again, let me know if I'm talking too fast. I can slow down. Please feel free to message us in the chat. I'll answer the question later at the end. For the curriculum wise, I'll start with the MBA program itself. Again, like I mentioned before, the core classes actually are the same for the MBA program itself. But again, for the specializations, you can actually have the tailored the direction that you need. They will also have the specific electives for the MBA program itself. We laid out the total required hours / credit that you're required to complete as a core classes, which is you can see that is actually the course start with 5 and 6 now, which is the BA 511 operational research, the BA 514, the strategic marketing management in aviation, accounting 517, finance, FIN 518, management finance, BA 520, org behavior, 523, advanced aviation economics, as well as the BA 635, which is what we call a capstone class. In the catalog, we call it business policy and decision making. The capstone class is very interesting. You're not going to do a traditional exam based type of class. You actually will cooperate and then do a project with either in consulting based with a lot of a company like aerospace, defense, and then our professor will give you the detail later. So that's actually pretty interesting. Again, the 21 credit is required for core classes. There you go. Here, so these are the 5 tailored specializations that you actually can pick as if you're, for instance, if you're interested to pursue the direction of airline management, on top of the core classes, in order for you to graduate with this concentration, you're required to take the BA 609 and then BA 650, and then same logic apply to the aviation system, airport management, supply chain management, as well as finance. On the other hand, if you do not you don't want to graduate with a concentration, that's also an option. I was going to do that, so I just did my curriculum and tailor my course wise into a direction. You don't have to pick your concentration yet. You can always to pick at the last semester. Our alumni also graduate from our alumni also works on a variety of industry now, all the way from the aircraft manufacturer, investment banking, as well as the investment banking company. So for instance, we have Airbus, American Airlines, Frontier, as well as Boeing, the Robinhood. The next we're going to move on is the MBA in aviation management. I want to emphasize this is actually a separate program compared to the MBA. For the international students or the candidate that coming from a different background, when they apply to a job or a career that to a different country wise, some of them actually require the transcript has a aviation management degree itself to be separate compared to the United States. In general, in North America, they look at the transcript in general, see what kind of course you take. Okay, so like we mentioned before, the MBA AM core classes are the same compared to the other classes as well. So in general, same thing: 511, 514, accounting 517, finance 518, org behavior 520, 523, advanced aviation economics, as well as the capstone class 635. Now, the MBA in aviation management wise, the elective will be slightly different. Or you're required to have the BA 609, which is airline management, BA 604, 645, and BA 646. Again, on the other hand, there are a lot of possible careers actually can diversify with this career itself. It can go all the way to air cargo, aerospace manufacturer, airline, as well as the airports. So one of previous grad assistant of Dr. J, who's currently working at the Delta airline, is actually graduated from this degree, the MBA in AM. He's currently working as director of the network planning in Delta Airlines. So something I'm really proud of. And next is the Master of Science in Aviation Finance, MSAF. This is the second master I'm personally currently pursuing at. The compared to the other two program, if you are really interested in an area, for instance, finance, investment.
Can I quickly interrupt?
Yes,
really
yes,
quick.
go ahead.
Why did you choose to do an MSAF after an MBA CC?
Yes, that's a good question. I actually had an opportunity to attend to a conference called the ISAT conference, which I'll actually explain that to you guys later. Why it is actually one of the best decision I've ever made. You get to interact with a lot of industry leaders, and then who their net worth is actually over $1 billion, and then they are very down to earth. They're coaching you. You will also be assigned to a mentor individually. So it will be a good career coach for you. So I'll be going to San Diego. I think this year will be between March 5th to 7th. So that's the core reasons why I actually join the program. Yeah.
Very quickly, there are in addition to what MBA offers, the MBA offers us to become managers and good managers, skillful managers. The MSAF goes a little bit above and beyond that. It also caters to international students like CC because they get longer duration of optional practical training, OPT, of 36 months because it's a STEM program. So the way it is coded with the Department of Homeland Security is its CIP code is actually similar to computational mathematics, mathematical finance. And so that's one advantage. There are 3 more advantages. If you keep with us, you'll discover them as we go along. So just stay tuned. There are 3 advantages of the 3 other advantages of the MSAF program that CC is going to describe. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. J. So you will see that we also laid out the courses requirement for the core classes as well as the electives in the table for you guys. It will be very finance based. Who's individual that is actually really interested in quant regions wise. This is the direction to go. So you will see that the core classes it's aviation finance core classes, which involve the finance accounting 517, and also the BA 523, the aviation economics, finance fin 518, fin 615 investment, and also fin 618 advanced corporate finance, as well as fin 620 air transport economic modeling. Now you also have the option to pick 4 courses that we have listed over there that I actually highlighted the finance 623 and 624. I took fin 623 last semester, and then I'm ongoing with fin 624 this semester. It's a ISTAT certificate if you're really interested in this direction, and then at the end of the course you'll actually receive a certificate after that.
So it's in addition, sorry to interrupt, but it's in addition to the diploma you'll receive for the MS in aviation finance. Just because you took these 2 classes, you'll be getting an ISTAT certification on top of that.
Exactly. And then you can conclude your degree with a requirement, either doing a special project or a internship as counted as the 696. But at the end, the credit requirement wise will be the same. It's 33 credit in general. Now, what I can say is that this program will open some more a door and also enlarge our horizons for you. We have the candidates who graduate from this program working at a variety of industry, not only in airline, investment banking, consulting firm, aircraft appraisal, as well as lessor. We also have people who graduate this program pursuing their PhD degrees right now. We've talked about there's actually many advantages that you can benefits associated with the program. This is just in general. Well, first of all, if you're an international student, this will be counted as a STEM degree. Like Dr. J mentioned that on your OPT, I think it's called as financial mathematics. So which means that STEM degree equal to an extended OPT for you guys, compared to normally 1 year will be 3 years for the international candidate. I mentioned that ISTAT conference is called International Society of Transport Aircraft Trading Program. So again, last year was actually in 2021, that was my first time I attended the conference. I was in Austin, just right after COVID. I printed out like over 100 copies of my name card. I gave out all of them, and I also received over like 100 of the name cards. I'm still keeping in touch with them, just looking in terms of looking for internship and full-time job wise, and then they are really actually coaching for you. And the other thing is the industry partners that partner with a lot of, you will get a chance to communicate and also interact with a lot of industry leaders that you need. So this is the certification that we mentioned that you're required to enroll and complete the fin 623 as well as the finance 624 courses. And this is an option. You can do the summer internship in the summertime in order to get the certifications. So this is I didn't actually put a lot of pictures over there. This is just in general a capture of what we have done in the ISTAT conference, you can see that you'll be assigned with a mentor specifically that one of my friend actually was able to sit down to a lot of the transaction completion process, and he was able to learn a lot through this conference. And again, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but just go back to the previous slide.
Yes.
So to us, these students are not just, people with some student ID number. They're actually people with stories. For example, we have Sergio there who's working with Frontier Airlines. We have Richard Zhao on the bottom right, who is actually with United Airlines right now. Then we have Ian McMurtry on the bottom picture on the left. On the left, he had 3 job offers last year when he was graduating. And then Nicholas currently is graduating. Sutao is graduating this semester. So all in all, I can tell you that there's plenty of job opportunities right off the bat after all the 4 programs we have. But in particular, MSAF is just trailblazer in terms of the current options that students have created for themselves. Being such a small program that it is as compared to the MBA and the MBA AM programs, it's very impressive. We have Dr. Vitali Guzwa with us. He's a professor of finance and one of the ISTAT mentors in this particular meeting. At some stage, we're going to invite him to talk to you about this. He's going to talk to you about 2 more things. You don't have to be an MSAF student to be a part of the ISTAT certification. You can just be a regular MBA or even the next degree that we're going to talk about, the MS in Business Analytics. You can do the ISTAT sequence as a part of either of those degree programs. The ISTAT program is so powerful that our students actually get very encouraged, as Cece is going to talk to you about. She's actually getting excited to go to that San Diego conference and shadow an industry professional all day at the conference. Oh, there's Dr. Gujwa. Dr. Gujwa, can you say a couple of words? I'll finish one more thought really quickly with it, and that is the CFA scholarship that he'll talk to you about. So, Dr. Gujwa, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think you did a great job describing the program, CCN and Dr. J, and ISTAT certification. I just want to add, so we need to update the logos with our graduates' work. We have Citibank, recent. In addition to that, we have Amazon Air. We have 2 graduates working for Amazon Air, and so it's a big companies. But yes, so anybody can take ISTAT certification in College of Business. If you have any electives from any available for any other programs, you can take those 2 classes and receive ISTAT certification. Yeah, and the rest, I think I confirm what already was said already. Yeah, about the CFA scholarship, the CFA stands for Chartered Financial Analyst. It's a huge organization, international organization, CFA Institute, and our MSAF program is affiliated with the CFA Institute. And because of our affiliation, we are actually eligible for 7 scholarships per year. It's for taking CFA exams. The scholarship saves about $1,200. Instead of paying $1,500, students pay $350 to register and take the exam. So currently, like for this year, we distributed 4 scholarships, like 3 more remaining, and there are some people applying right now. Okay, so if you have any questions about the ISTAT or CFA scholarship or MSAF, I'll be available to answer them. Thank you.
Yeah, we haven't really discussed the kicker yet, and that was the MSAF ISTAT scholarship. So the ISTAT scholarships are available nationally, but history has proved that, oh, by the way, it's basically not accolades, but the ISTAT program that we our professors teach in was actually a competitive program. Initially, there were 2 universities that were invited to develop this on a competitive basis. And we actually outrank the other in terms of curriculum development. So our Dr. Raghavan and Dr. Gujwa, they developed it simultaneously, and the ISTAT organization liked it so much that they said, you know what, we'll house it at Embry-Riddle. So both the online modality as well as the on-campus modality is available exclusively for Embry-Riddle students. And we actually competed with another university which was supposedly more qualified than us. So it is not true. We also, so one of the awards, and please correct me, Dr. Gujwa, if I'm wrong, Adeline Heneris won a scholarship that year of what, $25,000, something like that.
Yeah, typically it's between 10 and 20,000, but I think Adeline, for some reason, she got more than that. Yeah, I don't know how she managed that. But
yeah, she's now working in Singapore. So these people, and so she's history because she graduated in 2015. So we don't even keep her on the slides. But she's something that we really like to brag about. It just came to my mind when Dr. Gujwa was speaking about CFA, that we actually have 3 students who have finished CFA level 2 already. And one of them is planning to apply for a PhD program. So the CFA is also incredibly intellectually stimulating. Talking about certifications, Dr. Gujwa, have I completed the discussion of the MSAF program in general properly?
yes, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. We also offer CMA certification, and we have Dr. Zarb with us, who's going to talk about, we have a ton of certifications on not just the MSAF, but also the MBA program. In general, we're going to come to all that. And we have pictures actually of these cohorts of people who actually got their certification. So I'm going to invite Dr. Zarb really quickly to talk about the CMA, since we're talking about the finance program.
Yes, thank you, Dr. J. The CMA stands for Certified Management Accountant and is essentially a certification for those people who would like to work in accounting for a company. Has nothing to do with the CPA, and this is actually internal accounting. So you are eligible to sit for the exams if you have a bachelor's degree. And in fact, the Institute of Management Accountants, which runs the CMA program, offers scholarships on an ongoing basis. So we are currently accepting nominations from those people who are interested in sitting for the CMA exam. And what the scholarship does is it pays for everything. It gives you 3 years of membership in the Institute of Management Accountants. You sit for the exam for free. You have access to preparation materials for the exam. So this would be a good time, of course, to kind of plan, if you want to do this, to sit for the exam. There's only 2 parts of the exam, and you can take them together, or you can take them at different intervals. They do give you a time limit within which to finish both sections, but it is definitely a good certification to get in addition to the CFA. So you can do them separately or together, but I think it would be a feather in your cap if you actually do sit for the CMA and get the certification, which is recognized the world over. And if you need any information, please come and talk to me, and I'll be happy to help you out.
So I wanted to quickly add, Dr. Zarb really is very humble about it, but we have 2 really good students who took my finance class, and Mario Marroquin, who took my corporate finance class, as well as Georgina Wood. Both of them are actually pursuing tax and accounting as a part of their career as we speak. And so this is a definite career path. Then we have Leslie Sicko, who's an MBA student, who's actually working in Boeing in audit. So these are all related to accounting field. So you don't have to really limit your scope. You can actually follow your passion even after your MBA.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you, Cece.
Thank you, Dr. J, Dr. Zar, Dr. Gujwa. Then we're going to move on to the last program we often see will be the Master of Science in Aerospace Business Analytics. So for someone who's actually interested of the database analytics, as well as the risk management, modeling, as well as the predictive model-wise, this is actually a really good program that will be tailored for your career as well as the direction you're going. You will see that for the MSABA core classes wise, again, it will be slightly different compared to the other 3 program we just discussed, it's more of the data as well as modeling and the business econometrics based. This will be including the 511 operations research, the BA 523 advanced aviation economics, the 530 or the 522, the business analytics, the ops management, as well as the aerospace aviation system, BA 612 data analytics, as well as the BA 620, the air transport econometrics modeling. Again, you have essentially 4 options. You want to do a specializations. If you want to do a course aerospace or business intelligence analytics or finance, you can just pick the electives like we mentioned earlier and tailor your concentration towards it. Or if you don't want to, you can also no need to do a specializations. You can also just do a general direction towards it. Now, this actually highlight of our
really
yes,
quick.
yeah, go ahead.
Before this is amazing. This slide is my favorite. But before we already, so the MSA BA is a brand new program, but we've already graduated one student out of it, right, CC?
Is it Chen Li?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he,
yes,
go
he's
ahead.
actually working at the American Airlines right now as their sourcing and the maintenance department, slash IT, I think. So one thing I'm very proud to say is that he's actually one of the most smart, intelligent customer I've ever had, and he even got a job offer a year ahead, prior to his graduation date. So that was very impressive.
And that's the power of internships. So that's the next topic. We have a short slide here, but if we have time left in the end, we'll actually talk to you not about the power of these internships that these students have. I mean, at least 2 or 3 of them have already got a job right out of these internships, or are sitting on a job offer because of these internships. And not just that, but we already have 7 internships lined up 3 months ahead of time. One of my, so you've probably seen Dylan, one of my assistants, he has, as we speak, 7 internship offers right now for summer. So he's working on which one to take. And so back to you, CC.
Thank you. And then on top of that, some of our students who is currently pursuing their the internship wise also send us some picture. You can see that Jonathan is actually currently doing exchange right now. And then Benin, who's graduated, I think it was last year, she's currently as full-time as at a Legend. And we also have Bo and also the Xiwing currently is doing her internship at Breeze Airways. There we go. Now we have, we mentioned the career as well as internship wise. We also have a lot of interactive activities, socials. We're hosting COB quite often. This is actually one of the research symposium we held in COB that the faculty advisor is actually Dr. Imrose, who's guiding the students working on a subject of impact of pilots' mental health on aviation safety. And at the end, they were able to present, put a showboard at the end. Okay, so this has just happened actually on Friday. We gathered the majority of grad students. It's a campus-wide, essentially it's a campus showcase that we brought up all the students who at a variety of programs in our CUB that was actually interacting with a lot of potential candidate who's currently pursuing either their undergrad or even some of the high school students come to our booth who's interested. And then we have Dr. Jen, Dr. Zarb here. And then this is our family of the grad students here.
Okay, so the significance of that picture, can I interrupt you?
Yes.
Is that our MBA students are working everywhere in the university and making a difference in people's lives. So whether it's veteran services, or it is academic advancement services, or it is international admissions, or it is just admissions, as Ms. Parker would tell you, or it is working for the disability services, or is it undergraduate research? Our students are everywhere, and they are making a significant impact on other students' lives. Also, not only that, but you also need to understand that when you're trying to take an admission and talking to me, what kind of a job opportunity I'll get on campus? Well, this is the subset. These are the people who are working on campus for different departments and are actually getting paid for it. And the biggest thing is that all the other departments are actually looking to hire students from the MBA program or the MSAF program or the MBA AM program at the David B. O'Malley College of Business, just because they're so practical and they can make a difference to other people's lives. So this is the kind of trend we've already set up and are continuing to move forward with.
Thank you, Dr. J. And moving on to, we mentioned that they were actually hosting a lot of interactive activities, not only help you to get into know of some of the faculties and members we have in College of Business, we sometimes actually invite the previous alumni who graduated from the COB and currently working on different variety of company. Come talking to us and then interacting with them. And also last year, we also held a information sessions on one of the co-op internship program they held by Airbus. They came to us, held a meeting virtually, just to, again, recruiting a lot of candidates from the COB.
So one of the MBA students, actually, sorry to interrupt again, Emmanuel got a job offer at Airbus just because of this information session. So you can see the power of our networking and social hours.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking to each other, just making that little bit of an impact can change your career. Also, you need to notice one more thing. Sorry, again, I'm going to go off on this.
No,
but you have people who are captains in airlines, people who are cabin crew members, people who actually quit another job to be a part of this master's community. So people who have significantly given up a lot to be here, to be a part of this community. And it's our honor actually to have them with us in this program.
Speaking of the captain, I think he's here. Mr. Captain Sinan's with us here.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, this is actually thanks for Dr. J, that sometimes you will find out the majority of the grad classes is actually offering the from 5 or 5:30 all the way going down to 8:30 during the night. And then there's advantage of that. And then thanks to Dr. J, we actually understand that people might get tired at the end of it. We just sometimes have like a cake or a pizza party spontaneously, and then have gathering all the students who attending class at the same time. So this is actually one of them in Dr. Yu's class for the BA 645. And then we also had the pizza party that later, which I'll show you guys later. The project we did with classes has a variety of covered a lot of variety topic. This is actually one of the project I did in the airline marketing class to do a brand audit of the flag carrier at the specific country you selected. The capstone class that I mentioned before is the classes that we were required to take at the last semester. So at last semester, we did some consulting project with this aerospace defense company to explore the lunar space. Essentially, I think they're just trying to see what are the potential right now on the moon. And then at the end, there was a huge success. We did a bi-weekly meeting with a client and get some feedback. And this year, you're working on the eVTOL, I think. This is the pizza party I was talking about earlier for last semester. This is the Domino pizza guy who almost forgot his bag at the end, which is just everyone's pretty happy with it. We understand that the bridging and the transition from the undergrad towards the grad class sometimes can be difficult, especially during the exam seasons. We offer the grad tutoring lab for almost every classes that we offer in the COB, and that tailor you need. The format wise can be either in person or in hybrid. That something that to keep in mind that once you get your foot in the door, you want to plan your time and then manage your assignment as well as homework, prioritize them in order to don't crunch the deadline. But again, we have tutoring there to help you.
Also, one thing that to add to that, one thing you need to notice, go back to the previous slide. We offer tutoring in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, also on weekends, online, in person. So we are offering tutoring through a various of flexible ways. You just need to come and make use of it. So don't wait, come and take use of it as soon as you can. Sometimes even having a conversation with these tutors can change your life, like a new internship or how to apply through our campus handshake. And I've seen that. I've actually seen these tutors talk to new students and tell them, like, this is how you get to apply for an internship, or these are the companies you need to talk. This is when you apply, etc.
Exactly. And then sometimes what we grad students tend to do is we just hang out at the tutoring lounge and talk about anything. If you have any resume questions or any weird website or what kind of platform looking for internship or full-time job, anything. It doesn't not necessarily need to be course only. So regarding with the social hours and farewell party wise, this is actually we treat as a college of business students more like a family and friends, more like environment. Again, we cares about students not only on a personal as well as relevance level. They are some of the class experience that you will have that you cannot experience compared to the other colleges. Our professor actually take on the field a trip for us with students to explore and take a look at what's a real life application, what have learned in class to apply to a real life job career. This is another thing with another, I guess, highlights we're really proud of is that, could you guys know who this gentleman is in the picture? Is that I guess okay? He's actually the current CEO at American Airline Advisor. So Kangsha, who actually scored already a full-time job with American Airline, did the internship with American last summer, and then this is essentially what she has experienced throughout her whole internship. And at the end, she was able to score a full-time job with American, and she will get started this year.
So the key message here is, sorry. Oh,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
The key message here is on the right, the picture is about an international internship. So Danny Matthew actually interned with Qatar Airways. We have several MBA and MSAF students who are working abroad as we speak. And then the top left picture is about Wesley Simpson. He interned for the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, I believe the Kansas City, the Omaha branch. And then the bottom picture, of course, is the airline picture. So we have students who are everywhere, not just like Dr. Gujra mentioned, there's somebody, Dawei, he's actually in Citibank. And I just saw on my LinkedIn post that his colleague from his same class that they were in with me in 2019, Yushwan, she is now, well, one year later, she got promoted in Zephyrus Aviation Capital. So our students and graduates are making a difference in not just their own careers, but also in other people's lives.
Exactly. So we also have a variety of projects going on in this College of Business. It's actually one of my favorite that we offered to collaborate with Textron Aviation, that we're working on a data set, actually over 50,000 parameters. Essentially, they want us to utilize this data to benefit for the customer that they had. The department working with is the After Business Development and the Innovation Department. And then it was a huge success. Both the company and also the president of our school also came to our presentation. The deliverable is I think it's very accomplished. And then Dr. Longshore and I also get to fly I think that citations at the end. It was pretty cool. We mentioned about the ISAT conference that a lot of candidates that get to meet with the Boeing Capitals, the Tim Myers, as well as the GE Talenses. A lot of executives come from C-suite. The previous I think capstone classes also collaborated with Gulfstream together. And then again, we are expecting more of the industry interactions. Like we mentioned, the tutoring lab wise, it will be more like an interactive environment. You don't have to really talk about the classes necessarily. You can talk about anything. At the end, at the end towards your graduation, we usually held what we call a farewell parties, just to have a little bit of gathering sessions with the students together before we send them to next chapters. So this is some of the highlights we had in the previous years. Before I wrap up for questions wise, I would like to welcome Ms. Michelle Parker from the Daytona Grad Admissions and say a few words for us.
So the importance of Ms. Parker being here is we take care of only the curriculum, and that's it. It stops there. but your end-to-end requirements in terms of application, transfer credit, paperwork, documentation cannot happen unless you know how important and significant the role of Ms. Parker is. So that's why we have invited her to speak to you. And in case you have any questions towards the end of the session, when we throw the floor open, please feel free to ask.
Thank you for such the warm welcome, and welcome everyone to the information session today. As Dr. Gokley mentioned, my team, we process the applications. We help you with any assistance that you need gathering information for your application. Depending on which degree program you're interested in going into, or if you're close to graduating, or if you want to do possibly an accelerated program, there are a few different applications. I can paste both links in the chat box for you. If you're applying to a master's program and not the accelerated, you can use the code STAY, S-T-A-Y, as we want you to stay with Embry-Riddle and continue your education, and that will waive your $50 application fee. I do mention to all students that if you're kind of on the fence, I would go ahead and just get that application in. That way you have your acceptance, you're ready to go, and then you can kind of decide later if you don't want to pursue your master's at that point. But at least you have that option once you've been admitted. For accelerated programs, you only need to submit 2 letters of recommendation, and there is no fee for the application. And then, as Dr. Gokley mentioned, I will be here if you have any additional questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bishop Parker. And then we're going to open the floor to questions.
Maybe I would say it take 2 or 3 minutes just to show them what is lined up in terms of our internships and what internships we had last year. Can you pull up that presentation, CZ?
Give me just 1 second. Sorry.
Thank you. So if not, I have the presentation pulled up right here.
Do you
Would
mind?
like me to absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
I'll be happy to share that. Here we go. So this is, oh, I'm sorry. So this is what our students did in summer of 2022. And we actually want to brag about it because they have made an impact. So this is Mark Russo. He interned with Hydas Inc. and he's actually got a job there. Then this is Asad. He worked with Jacksonville Transportation Authority, and he is finishing up his MBA this semester. Then this is Thomas. He got a job with Boeing just because he worked on white-tail aircraft last summer. And this is Leslie Sicko. She's the one I was talking about who got that audit job in Boeing. And she interned with Boeing and then she got the job. Then this is Yukivia. She has that job offer currently as we speak. And then she interned with Allegiant. Then this is Mr. Lurie. He actually interned for a company. So if you don't want to go far from Embry-Riddle and Daytona Beach, you can actually intern around the area. So he actually interned for an FBO right in New Smyrna Beach. So very close to us. And then he actually talks about a glowing review of the MBA program and how it helped him from accounting, economics, airline management into that internship. And this is Shiv. He actually did 2 internships, one with JSX and the other with Frontier Airlines. He's from MSAF. And then this is Kudus. He got 3 job offers. That's the best I know I can tell you about. And then he chose, where did he go ultimately? American Airlines. Sorry, I get confused because he got so many job opportunities. So that's Kudus. Then this is Danny Matthew. He interned with Qatar Airways. By the way, to his right is Chandra. He's also a graduate of Embry-Riddle College of Business, master programs. And then this is Akanksha. We talked about her, American Airlines. Nicholas Quake, who was supposed to be with us, but guess what he's doing? He's actually interviewing for a job offer. So he interned with Cirium last year. And then Richard Zhao, he interned with Frontier, but he's got a job with United Airlines. He's MSAF. And Sutao actually interned with Frontier Airlines as well. And he got a second internship with Allegiant Airlines, but because he's international and there was some paperwork problems, he could not pursue that. Tyler Warner, he's in the MSA BA program. He interned with Frontier Airlines. Then Wesley Simpson, he's in the MBA program. He interned with, like I said, Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City, Omaha. And then Alyssa, we are very proud of what our MBA students do. Look at this. This internship is actually for a nonprofit organization, volunteering work. She makes flyers and marketing material for this particular organization. Isha, guess what? She worked on the newly launched B21 for Northrop Grumman. And she has another internship opportunity now lined up this summer with Blue Origin. And then this is Bo Bailey, mechanical engineering MBA. And he actually was working on Artemis project. And now he is working on the Orion project. So very exciting stuff what our summer interns did last year. And like I said, we have a ton of summer internships that are coming. I can feel the rumble. Sometimes you feel the momentum building up among students. This is it. So end of fall, we already had 6 or 7 internship offers with our students. So that's it. I'm going to stop talking now. And exciting stuff happening in COB Masters programs. We'll throw the floor open to you for questions.
Good afternoon, Doctor. My name is Jason Gant. I would like to ask you, so you have to excuse my ignorances. So I know the CFA certification. I'm afraid that I'm vaguely familiar with that. Where does that is a series 753 or 65? Is that a precursor to that, or is that something?
No,
or am I something different? I'm sorry if I'm.
No, this is something different. So what you're saying, the series different exams, it's before you handle like distribution of any securities, or you provide advice or purchase. Okay. So you need to get those series exams. So it's separate. But CFA, the Chartered Financial Analyst, it's if somebody who's interested in the portfolio management, portfolio analysis, so they pursue this certification. It's not a license. It's a huge international organization that puts kind of stamp of approval of your knowledge of finance and portfolio management. So
so it's essentially to understand it perfectly. That's a step. It's a different step, but it's a step higher than those. Is that?
Well, it's in the parallel, but I would say it's much harder than to get those serious exams, because it's like 3 levels, each level a 6-hour exam. The stack of books, like 6 or 7 books you need to go through to be able to pass those 6-hour exams, and also to get like 4 years of experience before you receive your CFA charter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I may interject, actually the Series 7 and the Series 63, those give you a license to actually sell the investments.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
So in other words, even if you get your CFA, to be able to sell any type of stocks or bonds, you have to pass the Series 7 and Series 63, which is kind of a license from the federal government, basically.
Well, thank you very much.